East of Papua New Guinea in Oceania, the Solomon Islands is a sovereign nation made up of over 900 smaller islands in addition to 6 larger ones. On the island of Guadalcanal, where American and Japanese troops fought in what is now known as the Solomon Island Campaign from 1942 to 1945, the capital, Honiara, is situated. These remote islands, which are surrounded by vast oceans, have long attracted people with their mystic allure. Legends about a tribe of giants who are thought to be the descendants of Nephilim still roaming these islands continue to pique their interest. The remote islands were left undiscovered to the rest of the world, inhabited only by indigenous people who had lived on the islands for thousands of years. In 1568, a Spanish explorer by the name Álvaro de Medina became the first European to discover the islands, navigating the oceans from Peru. After discovering the islands, Álvaro named them the Islands of Solomon, with the belief that he had found gold. And not just any gold, but the place where the biblical King Solomon obtained the gold for his temple in Jerusalem. Rumors of such an important find reached explorers and other lands, and in 1595 and 1606 more Spanish expeditions set out to uncover the truth. The discoveries of gold reported by Medina were never verified back then, but in more recent times companies have managed to mine a large amount of gold from the islands. There's thought to be a substantial amount of gold still buried throughout the land. The mining process for gold on the islands has been controversial, with allegations of exploitation and environmental damage. Some locals accuse mining companies of exploiting their land and resources for their own gain, while others draw attention to the irrevocable harm caused by mining operations. However, the allure of the islands extends beyond its gold. Like many other cultures from around the world, the native people of the Solomon Islands, who have lived there for thousands of years, have passed down oral traditions and tales of giants who once lived there. These people still believe that these giants exist today. The tales of the giants have many variations and interpretations, with some believing them to be benevolent creatures. Marius Boy-Rayon is one of the researchers working on the Solomon Anthropological Expedition Trust Board's investigation into the real giants living on the islands. He also serves as the organization's research director. Boy-Ray, who is from Australia, spent time working as a helicopter pilot and engineer in the Solomon Islands. He even got married to a native woman there and became a citizen. During his time there, he learned about the island's culture and traditions, including the legends of the giants. In 2010, Boy-Ray published the book Solomon Island Mysteries, which included tales from the locals, including his wife. Through his research, Boy-Ray learned that the giants were real. The Solomon Island giants are said to have social structures, and there are likely thousands of them living in Guadalcanal today. They are said to use a complex cave system and kill and steal humans from their villages. Marius writes that some of the giants were killing and stealing humans from their villages. He speaks of a huge rogue killer giant that attacked the indigenous people. Many warriors died trying to slay the giant. Eventually, villages had to be moved to other parts of the islands to protect their people. The tale of Mango is one of the spookiest tales about the giants. Many years ago, a girl named Mango was abducted by the giants. She was thought to have died and never been seen again. After 25 years, however, Mango reappears in an unrecognizable and shocking state. Mango is discovered to be pregnant and is thought to have been taken as a wife by one of the giants for over 2 decades. She gave birth to a half-breed boy who was killed by one of Mango's brothers when he was 5 years old. Mango herself remained. Heavy fighting broke out between Japanese and American forces on the islands, and Japanese soldiers described seeing creatures between 10 and 15 feet tall that occasionally charged at groups of soldiers. Bullets had little effect on these creatures, and soldiers had trouble falling asleep because they could hear their fellow soldiers screaming as the giants continued their attacks through the night. Although there are skeptics who consider these narratives as fantasy and folklore, the cannibalistic character of the giants instilled fear in the Japanese infantry. Although concrete information about these enigmatic beings is still lacking, and the legends surrounding them are shrouded in mystery and uncertainty, there is reason to believe that the legends of the giants of the Solomon Islands may contain some truth. The idea of giants has been present in many cultures throughout history, from the biblical account of the Nephilim to depictions in ancient Chinese art. Another fascinating subject is how giants and pyramids relate in various cultures. There were numerous ancient communities in the world, including those in Egypt. Iran, Iraq, China, Mexico, and Cambodia built pyramids, suggesting that something was happening on Earth in those days. Even more intriguing, these cultures all have stories and depictions of giants. It is possible that these societies had contact with each other, and that the giants played an important role in the construction of these pyramids. Let us take, for example, the pyramids in Mexico, missionaries in New Spain, and New Hispanic historians chronicle stories saying that in ancient times there were giants in the land now known as Mexico. They called them Kinametsin, a term used in Mesoamerican mythology for people of great height. The friars were looking for explanations for the large buildings dedicated to the indigenous gods according to the Journal of Mexican Archaeology. The evangelists attributed the construction of the largest pyramids, such as that of Cholula, to the giants. The Bible gave the missionaries the idea that the creators of these great buildings could be beings like those described in biblical passages, the Goliath that David battles, or other tales where a person's triumph is increased by defeating others. In the palace of the first viceroy of New Spain, Antonio de Mendoza, bones of a human foot were discovered, with each toe measuring almost the palm of a hand, according to a legend by Friar Andres de Olmos, known for his work as an anthropologist of indigenous groups. Like the biblical story of Noah and the flood, the giants perished in the catastrophe of Adonijah, a great flood in the mountainous area of Tlaxcala. Another ancient megalithic structures that are believed to be built by the giants are the unbelievable structures made from enormous basalt stones in Non Madole, in the island of Pompeii. The walls are standing as high as 58 feet tall and measuring as much as 17 feet thick columns and buildings all made from stone, which weigh anywhere from 5 to 50 tons stacked in the manner which one might construct a log cabin. Astonishingly, it has been estimated that over 750,000 tons of stone were used in the site's construction. The labor and effort needed to build these structures are so massive that it couldn't be done by ordinary humans. It was widely believed that this could have only been built by giants. This was supported by the discovery of Victor Berg, the appointed governor during German rule in the island when he ventured into Non Madole. In 1907, he stumbled upon a sealed tomb that was believed to contain the remains of Pompeii's ancient rulers. To his surprise, he found skeletal remains that were significantly larger than any he had seen before, indicating the presence of a race of giants. Standing at 10 feet tall, this discovery led Berg to wonder about the identity of these giant rulers. However, a violent storm that hit the island on the night of his discovery, accompanied by the sound of conch shells and glowing orbs in the sky, left Berg dead the next day, leading the locals to believe that Nan Madol was guarded by supernatural forces after World War I. Japan took control of Pompeii, and they also began to investigate Nan Madol according to remaining sources. Due to the destruction of many Japanese records from the region during World War II, it is believed that the Japanese purportedly discovered massive platinum coffins on the ocean floor that contained the remains of giant humans standing 10 feet tall when broken open. A fascinating topic that emerges in various Bible predictions is the idea of the Nephilim and their descendants returning in the final days. One of these prophecies is found in Revelation chapter 9, which describes an army of 200 million strange creatures that will bring a plague to the earth, resulting in the death of a third of humanity. The nature and qualities of these beings are unknown, but some theories suggest that they may be some type of descendants of the Nephilim resurrected to fight in the war of the last days. Another Bible prophecy that supports this theory is found in Luke chapter 21 verse 26, which speaks of people fainting with fear and anxiety due to what will happen on earth. In the last days, the powers of heaven will be shaken and men will faint in fear at the sight of what will come upon the earth. Something so terrifying could be the Nephilim and their offspring being resurrected, brought back to life by some type of wicked supernatural event that would occur to usher in the last days of the earth. While these prophecies are open to various interpretations, they are worth considering in the context of the legends and stories associated with giants throughout the world, including those in the Solomon Islands. It is possible that giants still exist today, concealed in the caves of the earth. Only time will tell whether the return of the Nephilim and their offspring is inevitable, or simply the stuff of legend and myth. Do you believe that there are giants living in our midst? Let us know in the comments. Please click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new movie. Thank you for watching.